Hey everyone, I'm glad to host my friend David today. David is co-founder in CoinLedger, a SaaS product for crypto tax calculation from all of your exchanges and wallets with perfectly accurate data. Hey David, welcome. Glad to hosting
Hey,
you today.
Pavel. Yeah, thanks for having me. How are you doing?
Yeah, amazing. Thanks for launching this podcast to focus on pure value around product and marketing experience. David, CoinLedger accelerated marketing user acquisition to the top in the last few years. Now your SEO is around 80,000 and even more like 88,000, and which helped to reach 2 million ARR already with the business, with your SaaS, which you shared uh, you got in 2021. I'm not sure if you can share with the audience what was your ARR in 2022 or 2023.
Yeah, each year we've been managed to continue to grow the business. So since then it's doubled a couple of times. And here we're heading into the bull market, so hopefully we can keep up with the growth.
Yeah, we will talk about the bull market now as well, how to get all the ambitions and opportunities from this. You just shared on your LinkedIn about SEO growth, and you are top one in crypto tax keywords in this domain. You found amazing product market fit, I believe, 4 or 5 years ago with the team, right? So, how did you get ready to this bull market? Tell me, how did you optimize the business, the marketing, and what was the homework last year?
Starting, I guess, with the SEO side of things. So for a business like ours, which is a consumer-facing business, um, I think just like any business, you need to assess what you think are going to be the best growth channels, test them, and figure out through a bunch of tests what is going to be the best method for driving growth. And for a business like CoinLedger, it makes sense, right? People get into cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, and they're not thinking about tax reporting or tax calculations, but eventually they learn at some point that they have to report their income on their taxes. And so it makes a lot of sense. One of the first things they do is they go to Google and they search, how do I calculate my crypto taxes? How do I do this? And they start researching. And so that's a very common user journey for our target market. And so it makes sense that surfacing content to help users on that journey build trust, answer questions is going to lead to growth. And so from the onset of the business, we have been investing in search engine optimization and driving growth through content marketing. And that has continued year over year, right? It's a big investment to constantly push the wheel of SEO. But it's a great channel for us. Now, we obviously leverage a bunch of different marketing channels, but organic search is the highest performing.
Awesome. So this is the marketing side, and we'll get down into all different channels, how they are performing, how the business was doing last year, and what was your moves in this kind of fleet times for recession times for crypto.
Right. So last year, 2023, people are doing their taxes for 2022, right? In 2023.
Okay.
And so 2022 was a tough year for crypto, FTX, prices decline, bear market. And so tougher to drive growth in a market that is contracting, right? There were less people investing in crypto and excited about crypto. Some things we did to continue to drive growth outside of continuing to focus on SEO was big partnerships with other companies in the industry, Voyager, CoinStats, Ledger, to, find new channels. And so you asked, how did we continue to think about growth during a recessionary or bear market time in crypto, it's continuing to find ways to drive growth in spite of, what you'd call a contracting market. For us, that was partnerships and business development was key last year.
Thanks for sharing this, David. Let's get back to your SEO. You mentioned this is one of your significant channels. So give us a blueprint. How do you manage your SEO these days? Your favorite tools, team structure, your uh, kind of principles, right? Like focus, target, what you can share, uh, like valuable insights from managing SEO.
Yes, so can dive into all of that. So taking a step higher goes back to the first step before even jumping into SEO is, you know, establishing it, is SEO a good channel for my business, right? And for
Hmm.
CoinLedger, that answer is yes, but for many businesses, that answer will be no, and you'll be
Do you
wasting.
mean even for different SaaS or for crypto or for fintech? Like
For sure.
you should define if it's a good channel based on your market feed or like user behavior. How would you do
Exactly.
it?
Yeah, there's so many factors that are going to go into deciding if it's going to be a good channel. It's, what's the competitive environment on the SEO front? Because let's say I'm starting a CRM to compete with HubSpot and Salesforce, right? It's gonna be really, really hard for me to compete in SEO with some of those players. So that's a factor. What is the best go-to-market for your business, right? For some B2B SaaS, SEO might not be the best way to do lead generation. Maybe it is cold email and email marketing and traditional BDR, SDR type of outbound sales motions, or businesses that could do well with SEO is like, what is the keyword volume in your industry? AK, like business value keywords that are being searched. Is there a high volume? How competitive are the search engine results pages for your industry? And is it a natural buyer journey where your target market is searching for answers that your product solves on Google? Or do you have to get your product in front of people to even build any interest? Because that could be more of a direct sales motion. We're much more inbound content marketing. People are pulling these questions out of us. And, how do I do my crypto taxes? How is Bitcoin taxed in Ukraine? How is Bitcoin taxed in Australia? Right? There's just thousands of keywords that directly relate to the business we're in that we can serve. And so that's starting there, is first assess, is SEO the right channel for me and my business, especially at what stage, right? Because that matters too, right? If you're a young startup, SEO takes time to get going. And if you need to drive growth fast, maybe SEO isn't the first place you should start. Maybe that's year 2, 3, 4, or you're investing in it all along the way, but it's not going to pay off for a long time. So that's
Yeah,
rabbit hole. Now, diving into what we do. So, CoinLedger is a great business where SEO is going to work really well. When we got started, the search engine results pages for very valuable keywords like crypto taxes, crypto tax software were not competitive at all, right? It was a greenfield market. No one was in this space. It was a brand new opportunity. Now, how do we actually go about it? So our marketing team is very small. It's me and one other guy, and then we work with a network of freelancers and agencies. But all the core strategy is driven from two people who are full-time CoinLedger employees. And it always starts from
awesome.
a keyword research perspective. Diving into, we use Ahrefs, but other tools like SEMrush and similar tools. But to identify where is the keyword volume for us, it's keywords like crypto tax, crypto taxes, crypto tax software. These are fairly high volume keywords, aka they're being searched a lot every month, and of course they directly relate to our business. And so it's someone, if they search crypto taxes, they're likely trying to learn, how do crypto taxes work. And so once we understand the keywords and we map out what keywords we make sense to build content around, we invest a lot of time, money, resources into building the best content on the internet for that keyword. And then over time, we're investing in getting that to rank, and that takes years, and a lot of factors go into that, of course, but that's how we start is map out the keywords. There's hundreds, thousands of them. Map out your content strategy to map to those business value keywords, and then invest in building the best content and getting it to rank over time. And then you'll start driving a bunch of qualified traffic very profitably, given that you're not paying for that organic traffic.
Yeah, it is a good strategy, David. Thanks for sharing. This is a lot of value here, and we are also uh, we're using we were using the strategy by competing in competitive keyword at first, and just gaining our authority rate uh, from quarter to quarter, and just then we happened to be in some high competitive keywords like SaaS product design or like fintech product design. But first, really need to be creative about keywords and the research. Yeah.
Definitely. Right. That's a great point. Is like if you have a brand new website and it doesn't have that much domain authority yet, it makes sense to go after lower competitive, lower keyword difficulty type keywords, maybe more long tail stuff. Like you said, build up that domain authority, start getting some pages ranked, and you kind of just build it one brick at a time.
David, tell me about your workflow with freelancers. Yeah, please share with us a blueprint of working with these content creators. How do you talk to them? What do you say?
So we actually don't use freelancers for content creation. All content, well, 90% of content is done in-house for us. Now, what we use our freelancers for is more link acquisition, linking.
Hmm,
And so we use
makes sense.
agencies to help us, get high domain authority backlinks to CoinLedger and our content that we're trying to rank. Um, and so, they're tasked with cold outreach, finding websites that make sense, and it's a very high volume type thing to go and find and get backlinks. And of course, the goal is to increase the domain
Okay.
authority of CoinLedger.
So, so, so do you recommend to find some freelancer for backlink, outreach, and link building like on Upwork or LinkedIn, right?
Exactly. Now, when we got started, we didn't use any agencies. We did it all in-house. But as you get bigger, you get more scale, you get more dollars to throw at marketing, and you understand what works, then I think it can make
Yeah.
sense. But obviously, you have to be careful because the world of link building agency is a cesspool of a lot of bad actors who don't know what they're doing. So the last thing I'd recommend is someone who isn't super well versed in SEO to go and try to hire a link building agency, because you really have to understand what are quality links, what is quality content, because otherwise you run the risk of hiring some crappy agency who claims that they're really, and they're going to wind up just polluting your domain. So the last thing I would recommend is just willy-nilly, nothing about marketing and hiring an agency. We only hire agencies to augment our internal capabilities, aka to do the grunt work that we don't want to do, but we could do it. We have the expertise and we know how it's supposed to be done. Um, and then we'll hire people to just, allow us to grow more arms and get more done.
Yeah, it is a really good point to have a, like ability, like top expertise in-house and leveraging offshore workforce uh, to deliver things faster. And yeah, this is cool. What about converting visitors into signups, into users or leads?
I think this isn't a super large like expertise area of ours. Now, me and our main content writer and we're very good copywriters, just frankly. And so I think a lot of it comes naturally in understanding like what type of content converts. Um, but outside of just intuition, we don't put a ton of investment into that at this point. Um, and so I don't have like great, like, here's the tools you should use for like conversion rate optimization, and you should run these types of A/B tests. Like, we honestly don't do a ton of that. It's more for us still about driving more qualified traffic. Um, I think obviously at certain scale, CRO and conversion rate optimization starts to make a ton of sense, right? If you're driving millions and millions of page views, a 0.2% increase in your conversion rate is going to make a huge difference. But if you're driving like 10,000 page views a month, like, I think you're better served focusing on top of funnel instead of um, squeezing out, the juice of 100 people coming to your site. Um, Now, that said, we probably have room to work on conversion rate, but I also don't think our conversion rate is bad. So I'm babbling. But to answer your question, we think about it just from a user perspective first. We try to create the best content in the internet. We try to naturally point them to CoinLedger as a solution to their problems. Um, and that's what we do
Right.
right now for conversion rate.
Good, amazing, David. I seen you also was working on improving the user experience on the website with call to actions and website structure. Tell us more about that, how it was impactful, like what was your ideas around call to actions and website structure.
Yeah, well, before we brought on Merge, the website was completely different, and that was the big push there, was to revamp the whole brand, elevate the brand, elevate the user experience of the website, the design, the flow. And when we thought about that, it really just was from square one again, of like, by then we had been in the market for a couple of years and we understood user journeys, user experience, what people are looking for. Um, and so, we brought on new design agencies and worked on revamping that whole UX. Since then, I'd say it's tweaks and refinements. It hasn't been overhauling. It's just been adding on to, our website and the pages we have. But the big one was like bringing on a new design agency to lead us through that rebrand.
Yeah, amazing. And I really see that the importance of understanding customer journey map. This is also where UX agency can be helpful uh, to understand it from the start to end, not just like I mean really in detail by every click in mind how people are going from just first visit and how to retain them and where you can lose them, right? And this website uh, conversion thing also can be improved with free value, where which you can share for emails like lead magnets for sure, and you can make it applicable with the content you share in your blog post, and just place some CTA around to get a free content like some ebook or checklist for free, like email lead magnets, because really often people just create a checklist or freebie, but don't promote it through the blog posts, which is bad. Like, but everyone should check HubSpot inbound strategy. Or yeah, there are the best in the market from all the kind of inbound optimization.
They kind of invented, pull marketing, content marketing.
Yeah, what is about your CGM? I'm happy with it now. Like, did you work on this in high detail, or do you see like do do you can make more potential, like increase output from your CGM?
So I think we don't have a formal process around that. I think that lives in our heads. um, in terms of, I mean, just naturally, we know this market very well. But we don't have like specific maps on that. I wonder, is that something that you do pretty religiously?
Yeah, David, it is a good point actually to start getting more insights about your conversion rate, where you lose visitors or where you can increase retention really great, and where you can catch more attention. You definitely can use some promotion of other tools, but Hotjar, everyone knows, is a really powerful tool to understand user behavior and how they scroll through your blog post, where they stop, how they read, and you can place more organic, natural call to action, which will be applicable to the content, like some calculators or some tax checklist,
Mm.
and
Mm.
make it really seamless to not redirect them to other pages or um, just make the form inside the blog post so
Right.
they can uh, give you mail not without any redirections to other pages, like just in the really simple, and it is how you can gain your email bucket too. From your communication style, David, in the blog or email or LinkedIn, uh, can you tell more about tone of voice? How much sales in your communication? Maybe it is different from channel to channel. Maybe like in blog post, yeah. What is the um, uh, like balance being humble in some channels and be more sales?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. So I think it does vary channel to channel and business to business, right? Again, you have to first start from what is the go-to-market motion that makes sense for your business. But starting with our blog, which is content and SEO related, right? We first and foremost, the tone of voice is we want to quickly and efficiently help and answer users' questions. So we're not super salesy, right? It's really what is the searcher intent for searching for this keyword? And we want to have tight, short, efficient content to answer that question. Now, short doesn't mean like we want to be as short as possible. It's more like we want to be as concise as possible to completely answer the question in what we think is the most concise way possible. And then naturally, we of course weave into almost all of our content in a natural point how CoinLedger can be a helpful tool for this problem that the user is facing. But we don't, I'll say, like force it down their throats. It's more first and foremost add value alone, stand alone on the blog post, and then also give them the option to opt in to learning more about CoinLedger or signing up for a free account if they choose.
Yeah.
I do think that's the best strategy because you're giving them value immediately. You're not asking for anything in return. And in doing that, I think you build that trust and it makes them want to sign up even more, right? Than if you tried to like feature
Yeah.
gate and didn't give them what they're looking for out the gate.
Yeah, it is definitely. And what about email? Like, are more sales there?
Mm. We don't do a ton of salesy email. We have a lot of just automated email sequences,
Yeah,
mostly around the user journey. So it's, if we detected they got hung up on some problem in the app, we'll automatically get helpful emails trying to solve their problems. But the only time we get salesy with emails are around tax season. So, to uh, just get back in people's mind, so we'll send reminders of like,
yeah,
hey, tax season is in a month, you know, import your data update your imports with CoinLedger type thing,
Yeah.
or emails like that, and they're short, um, but they're not super frequent. So that happens like maybe 5 times a year, right? Of like December, January, February, March, April, which is the US tax season. And we're hitting, a series of more salesy emails of like, hey, get your taxes done, essentially.
This is awesome, but you are really evaluating the product now, and you were making a lot of stuff under the hood in 2023. Tell us, David, where CoinLedger is hidden in the product, right? Where do you expand? Like, where do you see CoinLedger in the future?
Yeah. So historically, we've been pretty much known in the market as a tax reporting product first and foremost, which just means once or twice per year, people are coming in to connect their wallets and exchanges, pull in their transactions, and generate their capital gains and income reports that they would use to file their taxes. And naturally, we've built in a tremendous amount of infrastructure to facilitate those integrations, to facilitate all of that data management. Um, and so where CoinLedger is going more in the future is really real-time, continuous portfolio tracking, um, which makes sense. Like we have all these integrations, we have all this infrastructure, and now instead of using us just once or twice per year to download your tax forms, we want start users to start using us weekly, monthly, daily, monitoring their investments, right? So they can
Yeah.
see on any given day, the gains, losses, positions, tax loss harvesting opportunities they have in their portfolio. And so that's really the product push right now. And we want to build a very simple, clean experience, not overcomplicated. Our ideal customer is not someone who's like super advanced. It's more you're down the fairway person, and we want to make these products very simple. But this is ultimately a top of funnel driving product because it's free. So we can start to give out this portfolio tracker and market it completely free. There's no friction to sign up. And once you get into CoinLedger, you start tracking your portfolio. Again, you build trust with us, you get to know our brand. Once tax season comes and you get an email saying, oh, hey, you can buy your tax reports for this year based on all of the data you're already tracking, it becomes a very effective mechanism to drive more growth.
David, you're also not just in SaaS world, in B2B, in SaaS, but also in crypto. And I believe you worked with many crypto, not actually work, but have other crypto fellows in your network. I'm wondering what do you hear, what is working for them for user strategy, for user acquisition, uh, for initial early stage Web3 product, how to test, where to find this user acquisition.
Mm,
From my experience, talk from my clients who pure in DeFi, in Web3, in NFT, it was really pain in the ass how to get traffic.
mhm.
Yeah, what you can advise here?
Yeah, obviously there's no silver bullet, but I think you just have to get back down to basics. And it first starts with, well, what problem am I trying to solve, right? Like
Mm,
what is my product trying to solve? And that you should be able to back into a hypothesis of how you can grow based on the problem you're trying to solve. Let's just take some example like QuickNode. They're a big infrastructure provider for blockchain development. And so people developing blockchain-based applications, the problem they're solving is they're making it easier to run nodes on networks like Bitcoin and Ethereum so that you, the developer, don't have to run and host your own node or infrastructure. You can just, tap into their APIs and you can be building faster. And so I would always start with the problem because for them, right, they're trying to reach developers. Um, what are some
mhm.
good ways to reach developers? SEO could be a good one, right? People searching for things like, how can I, Ethereum API, how do I build a dApp off Ethereum? but then direct sales as well. So I don't have a silver bullet, and I think it just varies so much company to company. What's working for some may not work for others, but I do like I would recommend reading the book Traction by Gabriel Weinberg. I think that's a great
Mm,
breakdown. Um,
cool.
and the other thing is like when you're ideating and you're thinking of what type of company you want to create, I think a lot of people fall in the trap of they only think about the product, and that's like one half of the business. Just as important is distribution and how you're going to bring that product to market. And so they should be one and the same. And so I would encourage other entrepreneurs, like as they're thinking about their products, simultaneously think about, well, what is a natural distribution strategy that I actually, in my heart of hearts, believe could be successful for this product? Because just because you can build a product doesn't mean you can distribute it and get it to market cost effectively. Um, so you really have to be thinking about both. And if you're more on the development side, maybe you need to partner with someone who's more on the sales and distribution and really understand that vein, because I would argue it's more important than product. I think building product is the easier part. Like if you can assemble the resources, as you've alluded to, what's not is getting traction, getting growth, getting traffic. That's something that is very hard, especially if you didn't carefully, meticulously actually sit down and think about how I'm going to do this. If it's an afterthought and you just like built the product for a year and now you're like, all right, how am I going to get users? Like it's tough. They need to be happening in parallel.
Good thoughts. Definitely, all makes sense. Yeah, thanks for sharing your advice and value with your founders and someone who has already started getting some growth in the business. We appreciate a lot, guys. Please follow David in Twitter. I will share his LinkedIn and do your crypto taxes in CoinLedger product. Sign up for free, and merch team has built the product design and working with CoinLedger for 2 almost 3 years at this point. Wishing you good luck at this bull run, and happy to be partners and helping you to accelerate your growth uh, too. Yes, David.
Yes, thank you
Wish
so much,
you
Pavel.
success.
Always enjoy chatting, and thank you.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for listening, and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.